Hello, my name is Christopher Nicholson. I'll be your instructor for CITC 2311, .NET Windows-based client development. Name's too long. But anyway, basically we'll be creating programs for Windows using mainly Windows Forms and Visual Studio. So before I talk about anything, I'll just say this. The biggest thing to get done in the beginning is to get Visual Studio installed and running. And I've made a video for that already, and I'll point to that here in this introduction. But anyway, again, my name is Christopher Nicholson. A little bit about my background. I'm trying to talk a little quietly because I'm not alone in this house. But anyway, I went to undergrad at UT, University of Tennessee. I have a degree in French, minor in religious studies, but all the while I was doing that, I was using the VAX and Unix accounts you get as students to like investigate the internet, which I don't know if everybody knows, but it's been around since the 70s or before even. But this was before the World Wide Web, so I was doing things with Usenet, Internet Relay Chat or IRC, FTP, Telnet, Gopher, Veronica, Archie. There's all kinds of, we can talk about all that later maybe. But so after I graduated and some other things, spent a year abroad, Switzerland, things like that. But eventually I came back and got a Bachelor's of Science at UT in Computer Science. And then I went on to get a degree, Master of Science in Computer Science from Georgia Tech. When I got my bachelor's, I was a TA for Wallace Mayo and their version of CISP 1010, CS 102, like the introduction to programming. And that's where I kind of like got a liking for teaching. So when I got my bachelor's, I'm just submitting applications. Like I submitted one to a school to teach on a whim, and I kind of been stuck there ever since, but I don't consider it stuck because I really enjoy it. Anyway, it's a little bit about me. If you want to contact me for any reason, use my email, my Pellissippi email. That's the best thing. Because I check that a couple of times a day and I'm pretty good at responding. I'm not so much, the main thing is don't use this bright space messaging, confusing, clunky interface, because it doesn't reliably get to me, or I'm not able to always find the messages easily. And if it does copy to my email and I respond, it'll bounce. So please, if you want prompt attention from me, send Pellissippi email, both to and from, in other words, from your Pellissippi account, so I know it's you and I don't violate FERPA, which I just realized when I talked about this in other videos, I could have just always done this. Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, something I have to abide by. So if you send it from your Pellissippi account, I know you're responsible for that, so I can trust that it's you or someone you've given authorization to. So do contact me first with that. Or one alternative is if it's something you think the whole class needs to know about, like the whole class would want to know the answer, please use help instead. As a matter of fact, I prefer that you use this because another student can answer quickly, and if and when, I'll always check to make sure the information is correct periodically, like once a day. But everyone in the class might want to know the answer, so it's a lot more efficient if you use a discussion forum. So if you're like, oh, I thought this quiz was supposed to open today, why isn't it open? The answer to that is probably of concern to everybody in the course. If it's why did I make a bad grade on this assignment, that's email, right? So use your judgment. But those are the two main ways to contact me. If you look at the widget over here, it also has information about, my phone number is not hooked up to my home phone yet. That's my office phone. But if you ever need to meet me in person, we do all the protocols, office hours in person or something, and make an appointment and wear masks and all that. That's McWhirter 235 on the Hard Valley campus. Okay, so I think that covers that. I think the next thing to do is just kind of give you a tour of what things would look like in Brightspace for this course. Whoa. real quick, just because this is the only book I have on hand. I haven't been back to my office. I had to get this one special delivered. So this is the book we'll be using. ISBN 978-1890774-943 should be in the master syllabus. Let's check that. So everything you're going to need to know to get around this course will be under content. Obviously, I think, the way this is set up, the assignments can be accessed here. I mean, actually change to your view as a student. You can get at the assignments, like the labs programs you do here and the quizzes you take here. But alternatively, you could just go to content and everything should be linked there as well. So think of that as your central starting point. You'll have a course checklist. I'll put this up in the course overview with the syllabus. You can always just go there. And my intention is that everything you do in the course will be linked. We'll have a link here. And then you can check it off as you go. This may change a little bit as time goes. There might be a couple things I left off, but you see I've like tested checking it out, I guess. But, if you read chapters 1 and 2, do that. If you post your introduction to this forum, is this correct? Does this go to the correct place? It should. Yeah. So, I'll just go ahead and talk about this right now. Your attendance is measured because this is an asynchronous online class, which means asynchronous means not at the same time, literally. If you look at the etymology, the not at the same time here is we don't have a class where I lecture and you all gather to hear me, either virtually or not. On campus is synchronous because you're all in the classroom, right? You could do a virtual meeting maybe with Zoom or something and deliver a lecture. We're not doing that. All the lecture material will be like reading and PowerPoints. And I'll make videos. I've made a few already that you'll probably want to watch. That's how the content's delivered. Then you'll complete weekly milestones in the form of like programs that you write and quizzes you take and maybe discussion forum posts, that sort of thing. If you go an entire week without submitting anything at all, that's like basically a missed attendance for that week. And that's when we will start getting concerned, especially 2 weeks. I think 14 days is kind of like the maximum you ever want to not be AWOL from a class, whether it's online or not. So that's how attendance is counted. Logging in by itself is not attendance. You've got to like complete some kind of task, ideally one you get a grade for or feedback or something. I'll probably have intelligent agents that send you email if you haven't logged in for a week. That's to give you a head up. If you haven't logged in, you've definitely not done anything, right? So you should, if you get email like that, be concerned that you need to go make sure you progress through the class. Anyway, for the first assignment, as soon as possible, I'd really appreciate if right after this video, go and post here and introduce yourself. That just lets me know that you're in the class, you logged in, and you're reading, you're watching the beginning video, and that way we can count you as enrolled in the course for this semester. And I've got a little template here for, I filled out one as if it were me, and then you would go down here and probably just start a new thread, I think. It always takes longer to load when you're making a video. Start a new thread and maybe with your name, introduce yourself. Alright, so go back to content. Once you've done that, you can check that off. And then we're going to go over the syllabus here real quick. I'll let you read this. I don't think there's actually anything I need to talk about in this particular syllabus, but it does have the textbook listed. Maybe some of the technology needs if you have a computer that was made in the past 10 years. I mean, my laptop and my desktop both were. I mean, the desktop was pretty well put together 10 years ago, but still, it doesn't have any problem running Visual Studio, so you shouldn't either. But again, if you need help, let me know. This has some information about how your grades are divided up. The more important thing to look at is not the one for the whole course, but for our offering, which is that syllabus is presently in the syllabus supplement. I have a bunch of dogs here, so sometimes you'll hear them. If it's not too bad, I won't pause. So anyway, it repeats information about me, Goes over like how the breakdown, we're going to have labs and other stuff. That's 50% of your grade, and like the quizzes and like other stuff will be 10%. So here, other stuff in this case would be like maybe a discussion forum post or something if I grade it. And then your exams are 40%. You should have a, how have I done it this time? I think, let me verify. I've got several courses to teach. I think this is just a midterm. I'm trying to do midterm and final to minimize how much you might have to be maybe on campus. So, yeah, just exam 1 and exam 2. That's that 40%. So these are your grades. Some quizzes, sometimes a couple of chapters at a time, and then labs, which are usually just programs that you write. You'll see more about how to like submit those later. Let's go back to content. So you notice how I keep going back to content. It's not even our dog. We're dog sitting. Dachshunds are always like that. I love them, but they're loud and ornery. So going back to the checklist, and again, I have one checklist for the whole course. You see it's divided up into sub-weeks, sub-lists for sub-weeks. But so as long as the idea is that if you do everything in this checklist, you've done everything for that week. And that's my pledge, is to make that happen. If you notice something that you assume you need to do that's not there, let me know, because it's supposed to be on the checklist. Checking, it's not required. It's just to help you keep track. But so if you have any questions about the checklist, let me know. So you'll notice that in this case, post introduction is different because I just want to get that done as soon as possible. But you'll typically read, maybe watch the slides, view some videos. You notice I've got them all collected under week 01 here. Then, either order, whether I kind of feel like if you take the quiz and do well on it, like the quiz helps, knowing enough to pass the quiz helps you complete the exercise. Programming, whatever it is, or it might be other way around. Doing this might help you do better on the quiz. It's up to you. Use your judgment on that, but just make sure you complete everything in the week to make sure you're progressing through the class. Anything else I need to tell you? I'll do if there's anything important everybody needs to know, I will make an announcement. So watch for that. And I don't remember if I've told this course or not, because I've had to make 3 of these videos, right? So I'm an Android person, but this exists for Apple too. There's an app. A lot of you probably already know about it, maybe have it installed already, but Brightspace Pulse. I do not recommend you do the bulk of your work in Brightspace through the app, but it does let you know what I like it for. In other words, is giving me notifications about announcements and that sort of thing in the course. Maybe a little bit of messaging, though. Remember, again, I'd rather prefer you not use the Brightspace messaging. When you click on somebody's name or whatever and send them a message, because it's clunky. This textbook's exercises. This was actually left over from before, but you do need it. You probably find it in your book materials anyway, but if you download this zip, it'll have like all the little starter and example programs that you need for Visual Studio. So with that, I recommend, again, posting that forum for introduction so I can count you as being enrolled and showing up for this semester. That's really important. And make sure you do your work every week, at least something. Even if you get behind or something, let me know. Send me an email. I'm going to be late, but even then, do some little something every week so I can count you present. So your attendance, again, is submitting something every week, not just logging in. And feel free, to contact me if you're having trouble keeping up. But after you do that forum post, then I would look at watch these videos to help you get started. And I wish you good luck this semester if you need help. Again, this is the 5th time I've said it probably, but it's really, you're not bothering me. If you are struggling and you contact me, especially as soon as possible, you are making things better for me, because it's such a hassle if you wait. And so don't feel like you're bothering me if you contact me for help. You're helping me, because helping you early is a lot easier than trying to correct, a disaster that grows over time. So contact me early and often if you have any questions or you're struggling with anything. And thank you. Goodbye.